Almighty, loving Heavenly Father, how we are amazed the way that you love us so much, that we can, out of your love, realize how wonderful you have led our lives to bring us here, to bring praises to you, glorify your name, and live. As we have sung, Lord, we want to declare your love to us, not only to us, but to the whole world, that your unending love is supreme in all that we can see. And to you we bring glory, honor, praise, worship, adoration for all that you've done for us. You're amazing, Lord. You're wonderful. And we want to express our love and gratitude to you, our thanksgiving and praises to you throughout our lives. Thank you for this opportunity to learn more of you. As we remain secure in your love, we want to continue to grow in that love. Help us, Lord, through your word, through our fellowship, through the church, through our very lives we may experience more of your love, more and more. Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity, for being present with us today, for declaring to us again that you love us, you count us as precious, you count us worthy, you count us as people who have been redeemed, worthy of all your love. Thank you, Lord, for never letting us go, for keeping us faithfully, patiently waiting and dealing with us. Thank you for your forgiveness, for your love, and we praise you. We want to thank you. We want to continue to lift our hearts to you. We want to open our hearts and lives to you. Thank you, Lord. We pray all this in the mighty and wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. I'm sure you're blessed. Are you? Are you blessed? Amen. As we consider the wonderful, gracious love and glorious love of the Lord, I'm sure most of you have experienced this, at least to some degree. And so we're going to continue to think, not just emotionally, but more maybe almost like a lesson, because it's a lesson in life. God is preparing for us to share His heart. God is preparing for us for eternity to enjoy His love. That's why it's so wonderful. So it's glorious. And today also we'll see beyond the emotional aspect, and we will consider and meditate. Are you ready to meditate on His love, His wonderful love? Let's look into the passage, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. In chapter 12 to 14, chapter 12, 11 to 12, talks about gifts, especially chapter 12. And of the greatest gift, the most excellent way, the most glorious way, he says in chapter 13, verse 1, is God's great love. That's what we read. And that is what we're going to continue to meditate. It's just a section from verses 4 to 8. Love is patient. I know you're patient. Are you patient? Okay. Or you're time conscious? You're patient. Love is kind. I know you're kind. But he's saying God, in his love, is patient and kind. It does not envy. You never envy others, isn't it? Okay, that's what it means. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. That's God's love. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when the perfection comes, the imperfect disappears. Amen. So we're going to consider more of this in different aspects of God's love. The first one, it says 1 John 4:8, God is love, and all those who that love him will also express and live out that love. 1 John 4:8. Love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Now, the New Testament writers had to have a special word because there was idea of love in many aspects, in many languages. Almost every culture has love. And here, in trying to make it special, God's divine love, a new word was introduced in the New Testament. And you know that word, Greek word. And that Greek word is, somebody said agape. Okay, that's what he said. There were many other words for relationships, human and spiritual. There were 3 other words in Greek, but this one had to be discovered, used, especially for the divine love, agape. And that was special, holy, great, and wonderful. So, here we find, can you read this? You can't read. Some of you can't read. Okay. It is his nature to love. He is infinite. He is holy. Love reaches beyond barriers. Indescribable. Powerful. Okay. When you read these verses, these points, these descriptions of God's love, we have sung a little in our worship songs. But there is more to it, and here it is, God, the God of love. But when we say God of love, there are other kinds of meaning to it. If we are thinking in the secular sense, in the human sense, but when we talk of God's love, it's always going to be that special agape love, divine love, pure, holy, and powerful love. Okay, this is what we are going to consider. So when you think of this, actually, it will take a long, long time to consider each verse. How great and wonderful is his love. It is his nature to love. We cannot help but love. He is infinite, Psalm 103. You want to read that? Psalm 103, verse 17. What does it say? From everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear him, and his righteousness with their children's children. Amen. What a wonderful promise. You'll be able to find God's love everlasting, never fails. That's why it's eternal, no beginning, no end. That's the kind of love he wants to invite us in, and that's how and why he created us. He is holy, spotless, and pure in his love. In Exodus 15:11, it talks about this holiness nature of God. It says, is glorious in holiness. Another Bible translation says, majestic holiness, awesome in glory. It's a holiness, awesome in glory. Another translation. Something to do with the holiness of God, his nature. He's too holy to behold iniquity, it says in Habakkuk. Okay. That's the kind of holiness we are going to deal with. And that's God's love, naturally. He is holy. All his nature is holy. All that he does is holy. And therefore, he'll express that in holiness. If he is your God, if God, the Holy One, is your God, then you also will be holy. That's what he said in Leviticus. They are to do certain things, to make certain things about the tabernacle, the holy place. Everything they did, every decision they made, every law that was passed, God reminded them, I am holy, therefore you must be holy. It is repeated again and again. So anything that you did, anything that you are planning, or in the future, or even in the thoughts, it's because I'm holy, you must be holy. Therefore, his divine love is also holy. Holy, holy, holy. Okay. We've seen this, we sang just now. With his voice, he created the universe. And here Psalm repeats it again and again. It's not only in this Psalm, but in Psalm chapter 8, Psalm 19, Psalm 103. His love reaches beyond the heavens. Indescribable. He is powerful. I would like you to continue to meditate on those things, what it means when God is mentioned in his love. Next, I would like you to continue to meditate John chapter 4, verse 8 and 16, continuing. Overflowing love. First one is divine love. Next is his love overflowing. God can do actually without us. He can do without the universe. God can do without the earth or human beings. But in his love, he created us. And he says, he loved us with an everlasting love. That's you and me. First, it was to his chosen people. But realize it was not just to his chosen people, but it was to his creation of man and woman, the earth, the universe. It was with everlasting love. We are the glory of his creation. Psalm 8, 3 and 4. It says, what is man that you consider him? Why is man, meaning mankind? Why do you love him? Why do you care for him? This is the question the psalmist had. Man is not worthy of God's divine love, yet God, being that of love, is willing to bring his overflowing love in his creation. Amen? And so he created us in love, is repeated in Ephesians. He created us in love and the security of his love. Now, all this you know, it's been repeated. You've read it in the Bible study, in the prayer of others. In the prayer of others, in the song that we sing, we read of this love. God, great and wonderful love. We know that. We have some ideas. And we're going to continue to think more. But the greatest thing is, we have a God who is interested in us very seriously. Let's put it that way. And everything he wants to do is he desires our everlasting love. And that is where we are to respond to that. So we will continue to think from our minds, our thoughts, examine our emotions, our past, even our culture, the way we've been brought up to think about love. And compare that again and again, how we can understand better a deeper aspect, areas of God's love, a better understanding, so that it will control our lives, our actions, our minds. So let's meditate on those things. There are people who have meditated on God's love. How many of you meditate on God's love? You may have meditated on many other things, but meditate on God's love. It's a wonderful feeling sometimes. Sometimes you will be overwhelmed. Sometimes you do not know what is happening. There was one man I met. One day, he was supposed to come to the prayer meeting. He could not come. He was very regular. And so we went and visited his home after the prayer meeting. And he was lying on bed. We asked him, "Are you sick?" "No," he said. "As I was meditating on the love of God, I was so overwhelmed," he said. "I became almost helpless to move. I could not move out of my bed." I don't know if he was exaggerating or if he was pretending. I don't think he was pretending. He was a very serious man. He was older than me. And I think that is one experience that I knew personally. Of course, there were others who spoke, who prayed about God's love. How do you know God's love? How can you know God's love? Through the experience of others also. You listen to them. You compare what they think, what they say, what they experience with what I experience. Maybe it's not the same, but there is some kind of measurement there. Somehow we realize God's love has been poured in our hearts, and we want to express that. We want to experience it more and more. So we're going to go deeper into that. And I want to read the next one. God's amazing love is a result of meditation. I hope you can understand the English. Sorry, but this is how he expressed it. You can express it in any way you like, as long as it's God's divine love. He says God's love is amazing. What does he say? Let's read together. Love divine, love excelling, joy of heaven, come down. Pray and praise thee without ceasing. Glory in thy perfect love. Till in heaven we cast our crown before thee, lost in wonder, love, and praise. Okay, it's a hymn. First he wrote it down and it was put into a song. And it's called The Amazing Love of God. But I want to notice the last line. Lost in wonder, love, and praise. Have you had that experience? Have you been lost in thinking of something, not sadness, not brokenheartedness, not separation, but love, God's love? Have you been wondering? First, it will bring, if you, because this is so deep, first it will bring you wonder. God's love is so wonderful. And you continue saying, as we sang, we will stand in awe when we consider His love. Wonder. And the next point is love. Because He is love Himself, we will be filled with His love. And then praise. It will result in praise. Amazing love. Have you considered writing down your experience? Maybe like this, or maybe better than this. For you, when you write it, it's personal. For when he wrote this, it was his personal experience. But he was also writing for the church. Let's see another one. Marvelous love. Can you write something about marvelous love, of God's love? Okay, let's read together. Can you see? I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus the Nazarene and wonder how He could love me, a sinner, condemned, unclean. He took my sins and my sorrows. He made them His very own. He bore a burden to Calvary and suffered and died. And how does the chorus? This is also in the hymn, out of meditation. And then the next one, and he ends up in saying, how marvelous. Let's read. And my song shall ever be, how marvelous, how wonderful my Savior's love for me. Is that your experience? I think we've tried to express that in some of our songs today. And I want to tell you something which, in my limited experience, I was in Geelong. We were having a retreat. In Geelong, there is a hotel owned by Christians. And on the beach, on the lovely beach, there's a chapel with a blue roof. If you have time, you visit there. Every morning at 5 a.m., they have prayer meeting. So when you finish work, immediately you can go there. But anyway, there in that conference, we had time early in the morning, so we went and attended. And as we attended that prayer meeting in the morning, before we came earlier, near the shore. We could see the waves. You've seen waves. But here, it's more than just seeing the waves. You're thinking about God's love, seeing the waves. Is there any connection? Any comparison? And this is what happens. Next one. The deep, deep love of Jesus. The ocean is deep. The ocean is vast. The ocean is unmeasured, even though they've tried, boundless, free, and the waves, the tall waves, rolling as a mighty ocean in its fullness. Over me, underneath me, all around me is the current of His love. Have you seen, experienced God's love in that way? Dynamic, powerful, creative, vast, unmeasureless, boundless, free. You can add many more adjectives to that. But seeing and that moved me so much, I could not pray. Since I'm a bit emotional type of a person, my tears came out, my voice could not come out. And that was one experience I had. And my wife was standing near me, and the group that was praying also were moved and touched. In the beginning, they did not understand. Then later they realized, after I told them, I am so conscious of God's love here that I'm moved emotionally and physically. The deep, deep love of Jesus. Some of you may have experienced much more. Some of you are beginning to experience His love. Think about His love. And this is why you and I need to see His awesome, great, wonderful, powerful love of Jesus. But somehow, we have a measurement. Whenever we talk of love, apart from the Greek ways of doing things, sorry. You and I have different ideas of love. Even now, as we say, when we talk of love, we have different meaning ideas. There was a book I read that was very helpful. It's called The Language of Love. You have to find this out. Especially as a married couple, our ideas of love is different. And the language of love is different. And we need to find out what this is. I was working with a missionary in India. One day, I realized he didn't have much clothes. I had plenty. So as a Christian worker, I should not have too many and when he has so little, so few. So what I did was I shared my clothes because it fitted him. At that time I was thin. So he was thin, I was thin. We could share our clothes. Now we can't. I've grown a bit wider. And then I did it out of concern as my brother, younger brother, in the same ministry, in the need. I felt that's what he needed. And it was to me as an expression of love. To him, it was not an expression of love. To him, it was an expression of pity, being sorry for his situation. He did not say, he just said thank you. And I don't think he ever used those clothes because he thought, I'm pitying, I'm being humbled. But from my point of view, it was an expression of love. He could not see it as an expression of love. His language of love was different. My language was different. You find that in partners, in marriages, in working relationships. When we talk of love, it is different. This is why in the past, in human terms, love may have a language, but our meaning can be different. There are songs, stories, legends, poetry, history about human love. In almost every culture, every language. You have your own. There's admiration, there's affection, there is sacrifice, loyalty, all that. And it's noble, and it's wonderful. And those feelings are expressed in songs, in drama, in action, in movies. And you'll find God's love is not mentioned there. It's still bringing human love, as in it's God's love. So they call it deify God's love.